Administrator Zeldin, thank you for being here and appreciate all your work in trying to bring about common sense and workability in the way that the EPA approaches the regulatory agenda. That's something that we've worked on this committee for many years and will continue to work on. It's so very important. One of the regulations that's been devastating for our nation and for the growth of our nation in manufacturing has been the unworkable PM 2.5 standard, the particulate matter. As you know, the Biden administration made some significant changes to this, and it's caused a lot of businesses not to be able to locate in areas that they'd like to locate in, and it's something that we're trying to address here in this committee. It's made it more difficult to create jobs, to build cutting-edge factories, and to lead the world in development of new products that we know that we need to be doing, that we need to do. Can you provide us with a update on where the agency stands to revisit and revise this rule?
The Trump administration is no longer defending the unlawful 2024 Biden PM 2.4 NAAQS rule. This was a necessary decision that we made because the previous administration's actions were discretionary and didn't align with the statutory obligations of the Clean Air Act. EPA is remaining hopeful that the DC Circuit will soon release a decision on that.
What about the NAAQS review process? Are y'all doing anything to ensure that any new standards allow manufacturing to thrive while protecting the environment? I mean, you know, that's one of the most aggravating things to me in Congress is to hear the other side of the aisle say we don't care about the environment. Man, I was born and raised on the Georgia coast and lived there all my life. I love the environment. Don't tell me I don't love the environment, want to protect it.
It's been important for us, one, to handle this backlog of state implementation plan requests that we inherited, to make sure that we were getting through that. That's why we created the Office of State Air Partnership as part of last year's reorganization. What we saw in the last administration was a very large rejection of state implementation plans in favor of a one-size-fits-all federal implementation plan. And furthermore, what we see is states being penalized for what have been international sources of air pollution. The state of Arizona, the state of Utah have already benefited from decisions that we made by pulling down the 179B guidance a year ago. And we're looking at other non-attainment zones where an area is being crushed, penalized for pollution that is caused by international sources, and that's not right. We have plenty of ideas on NAAQS reform. I know that this is something that you have plenty of ideas on as well. A number of the proposals that we know that you're advocating for, EPA has included in our list of priorities in modernizing the Clean Air Act. We look forward to working with you further on that.
And one of those that you are alluding to is the CLEAR Act that I have, and of course that'll make some statutory reforms to the NAAQS process and to make it more workable for manufacturers. In other words, and one example of that is to take the review from 10 years to 5 years, and to the baseline that was lowered by the Biden administration from 12 down to 9, and the impact that prescribed burns. Right now in South Georgia, we've got wildfires that we're dealing with, and you know, the particulate matter obviously is going to be higher during those times, and we need to take into consideration those things. Would you agree that reforms like this are common sense and would help EPA to conduct a more efficient NAAQS process?
Yes, definitely. When you combine the PM 2.5 level with the exceptional events rulemaking, with the regional haze rulemaking, you have Western governors who have reached out to me, by the way, on both sides of the aisle, concerned that they are unable to do prescribed burns because they're worried that they're going to put a community into a non-attainment issue, that they will not be able to meet federal standards and they're going to be penalized because of it. And we do not believe that the best reading of the Clean Air Act, by the best reading of statute put forth by this committee, is calling on the agency to be putting these Western governors in a situation where they just have to allow their communities to burn down.
Well, I don't have enough time to go to Tosca and ask you about that, but I do appreciate the fact that in your briefing that you elaborated, in your budget, you elaborated on how you're going to be ensuring that Section 6 evaluations rely on the gold standard science and reflect real-world risks. So thank you for the detail that you brought in that in your budget, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.